Hello. Today I will tell you what comets are. Be sure to watch the whole video. Have fun.
Comets are frozen leftovers from the formation of the solar system composed of dust, rock, and ices. They range from a few miles to tens of miles wide, but as they orbit closer to the Sun, they heat up and spew gases and dust into a glowing head that can be larger than a planet. Comets are cosmic snowballs of frozen gases, rock, and dust that orbit the Sun. When frozen, they are the size of a small town. When a comet's orbit brings it close to the Sun, it heats up and spews dust and gases into a giant glowing head larger than most planets. The dust and gases form a tail that stretches away from the Sun for millions of miles. There are likely billions of comets orbiting our Sun in the Kuiper belt and even more distant Oort cloud. The current number of known comets is 3,743. Comets orbit the Sun just like planets and asteroids do, except a comet usually has a very elongated orbit. As the comet gets closer to the Sun, some of the ice starts to melt and boil off, along with particles of dust. These particles and gases make a cloud around the nucleus, called a coma. The coma is lit by the Sun. The sunlight also pushes this material into the beautiful brightly lit tail of the comet. Comets orbit the Sun in elliptical paths, just like planets do. A comet has four components: a nucleus, a coma, a tail, and an ion tail or plasma tail. The nucleus of a comet contains the vast majority of its total mass. The most famous comet is Halley's Comet. Comets, like asteroids, are small celestial bodies that orbit the Sun. However, unlike asteroids, comets are composed primarily of frozen ammonia, methane or water, and contain only small amounts of rocky material. As a result of this composition, comets have been given the nickname of dirty snowballs.
Here are the parts of a comet.
Nucleus. The nucleus of a comet is composed of ice and rocky material. The nucleus of most comets ranges from about 10 to 100 kilometers in diameter, though they can be as large as 100 kilometers in diameter. Coma. The cloud of gases that forms around the nucleus as the coma is heated is known as the coma. These gases are usually a mixture of water vapor, ammonia, carbon dioxide. Dust tail. The dust tail of a comet is composed of gases and tiny dust particles blown away from the nucleus as the comet is heated. The dust tail is the most visible part of a comet. Ion tail. The ion tail is a stream of ionized gases that are blown directly away from the Sun as a result of the comet's contact with the solar wind. Comets have been seen by humankind for millennia. However, scientists have determined that given the shading of material each time a comet orbits closely to the Sun, a comet's lifespan may only be thousands of years, relatively small number when compared to the lifespan of the solar system. Thus, scientists have concluded that if comets are still present in the solar system today, then there must be a nursery of comets somewhere in the solar system. Otherwise, all of the comets would have run the course of their lives long ago. Furthermore, since we have determined almost all of the inner solar system objects, the only place left for this reservoir of new comets to exist is in the outer solar system. Over the course of the second half of the 20th century, evidence provided by the orbits of comets suggested that there is not just one region of the outer solar system producing comets, but two. The first of these regions is what is known as the Kuiper belt. a band of comets similar in many ways to the asteroid belt found in the inner solar system. Comets originating in this region have relatively short orbital periods and orbit the Sun in roughly the same plane as do the planets. The second region, called the Oort cloud, is a region farther out than the Kuiper belt and is essentially a spherical shell. Those comets coming from this area have orbital periods much longer than those of the Kuiper belt. Additionally, the orbital plane of comets from the Oort cloud may be drastically inclined to that of the orbital plane of the planets. As for how a comet originating in one of these regions acquires an orbit that brings it into the inner solar system, current theories propose that it may either be knocked into its new orbit through a collision with another comet, or its orbit may be altered by the gravitational force of an interstellar object passing nearby in the outer solar system. That was all for this video. Thanks for watching.